Okay, this is one of my favorite pages, the 5-stroke roll application page. Much like the drag application that we did earlier, we substitute the drags with the 5-stroke roll. So all a 5-stroke roll is an additional buzz, and we can start these with both hands obviously, but we typically start them with the right hand. So instead of a drag being started with the left hand and going, say, into a bass drum, now we have a 5-stroke roll starting with your right hand, my left, your right, buzz, buzz, single. So that's your 5-stroke roll. As a rudiment on the snare, buzz, buzz, single. All right, I'm going to ignore exercise number 1 because I'm assuming you've already done the drag application page. It's the same exact exercise with a grace note on 4-ah. We're going to start out with exercise number 2, which places the 5-stroke roll on beat 4 and. Now remember, your drag is just worth a 16th note. However, the 5-stroke, since it doubles up on the amount of buzzes, it's now worth a half a beat instead of a quarter of a beat. So typically, instead of applying a drag on 4-ah, you're going to apply a 5-stroke on 4 and, a 16th note earlier. That's typically where the 5-stroke rolls get played. End of a measure. There'll be quite a few exercises in here where they'll get played elsewhere, but at the beginning, simply they just get placed at the end of a measure. So we're going to play exercise number 2. So just remember that your right hand's going to have to come off the hi-hat now to play that first buzz, and then the left hand plays the second buzz going into the rest of the pattern. Okay? So here's number 2. Gets easier to do, it really does, as you play faster. That's only because you're playing the 2 buzzes as per the 5-stroke roll a lot quicker. So you're closing the roll. That's what we call closing the roll. When you play it very slowly, you have to play that 5-stroke roll kind of open, because we're playing it so slow, and it's quite hard to do unless you've really mastered your double stroke open roll. All right, so that's number 2, playing the 5-stroke on 4 and. Now we're going to switch to number 3, where that 5-stroke gets added on 2 and. There you go. That's number 3. All right. Let's tackle number 4 now. Now remember, 4 is based on that exercise number 3 from the 8th note beginner rhythms page. All we do here on this page, just like we did in the drag application page, is wrap those 2 extra snares around those basses on beats 3 and 3 and. But on the first measure of exercise 4, we play that 5-stroke again, just like we did on exercise 2 on this page, at the end on 4 and. So we still have the wraparound in the middle of the measure, but now we have the 5-stroke added to the back end of the measure. So it sounds like this. A little faster. There you have it. All right, 5 starts to get a little trickier just because we're adding 2 5-stroke rolls, one on the end of the second beat and the same one at the end of the 4th beat. So go slow on this one. Now we're going to tackle that weird one, number 6. Again, we're going to do the B column first. You got to get that down before you add either drags or, in this case, 5-stroke rolls to that pattern. All right, let's play the first measure in number 6. Let me try that again. There you go. So this is very tricky. I mean, I made the mistake the first time around. I would go very, very slowly on this one as you progress through the different tempos. All right, let's move on to 7. As we know, it's a single paradiddle rhythm. And we're going to apply the 5 to, again, the middle of the measure, as well as the end. All right, here we go. First, just a reminder, single paradiddle without any 5s. Okay, now we're going to add the 5s to it. First measure, exercise 7. And there you go. Another difficult pattern to play, but if you play it very slowly, you will get it. Again, try not to play it too slow because those 5-stroke rolls, those 2 doubles that you have to play, can be quite difficult at the slower speeds because you have to play them very open. There will be that fine line between the slowness and the faster speeds to where you can transition from a very open sounding double, 2 doubles, to the more closed roll using the 2 doubles. So you have to find that kind of fine line, start with the low end of that as far as tempo, and then build up from there, and it'll start to sound really, really cool. All right, that's it for the 5-stroke roll applications.